Okay. Okay. Pause. Today, we'll talk about, can you read it? What do I need the Messiah for? Okay. So, do I need a Messiah to teach me anything? That's another way to set it up, the topic. So everybody talk about the Messiah coming and teaching us to do whatever, but do I really need him? As I'm talking about B'nai Noah. So what exactly is going to teach me when he comes? I know that some people, many actually, had different vision of Messiah. For them, the Messiah is a mystical man, and if they usually bombard me with all kind of videos with rabbis with big beard and impressive eyes and tell about it. Yes, all the calculations show that the Messiah is coming next Tuesday afternoon, 2 o'clock. Wow, in that case, I need to run to my basement, board myself with sardines and scotch, arm myself with ammunition, and watch through the crack in the wall how at the outside all the ghosts come out from the grave and walking, of course, straight at me. And I look up at the sky, and the sky is full of drones and robots and firing, spewing fire, and boom, atomic bombs, Gog, Magog. This is a Messiah. This is what they sell you on the internet. This is what they sell you on YouTube. And of course, all you need is to send them some donation to support the ministry. But what really the Messiah is all about, and what really Isaiah is saying about the Messiah, we already learned from chapter 2 of Messiah, of Isaiah. And I tried to put the machine reading it for us. See if I can do it.
Established as the highest of the mountains, it will be exalted above the hills, and all nations will stream to it. Many peoples will come and say, "Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the temple of the God of Jacob. He will teach us his ways, so that we may walk in his paths. The law will go out from Zion. He will judge between the nations and will settle disputes for many peoples. They will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning. Which nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore. 5. Come, descendants of Jacob, let us walk in the light of the Lord. He will judge between the nations and will settle disputes for many peoples. They will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning. Which nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore. 5. Come, descendants of Jacob, let us walk in the light of the Lord. Thus, according to Isaiah, at the Messianic date.
Okay. So we learned from the machine what the Messiah is telling us, what Isaiah is telling us. about the day of the Messiah. Nothing is mentioned there about Gog and Magog, about resurrection, all this nonsense. He talked about the Messiah sitting there on a mountain of Hashem in Jerusalem. All the nations flock, stream from all over the world to learn from him. He will judge, he will, among the nations, he will teach people to melt their swords into plows, like Noah did, and of course to know Hashem. So that's the vision of Messiah by Isaiah as a teacher. Now the question is, so I, as a Noahide, who already know Hashem, I understand Isaiah is talking about idol worshippers. They will come and flock to Hashem and learn the first time ever about Hashem, fine. But I, as a Noahide, who already familiar with Hashem, I already know the 7 commandments. So what do I need the Messiah for? If the Messiah, all it was going to do is to teach the mankind Hashem and the 7 commandments, here we are, already there. So is there something that I can expect the Messiah to teach me that otherwise I cannot learn? So to answer that, let's review, it's a chance to review, what can I learn by myself, let's say from the book of Genesis, as a Noahide, and we'll see if there is something there that I can expect the Messiah to help me out. And that's the question. Here, there's a remark I'm supporting rather, the teaching of this class on the Hasidic Sfat Emet teaching, just to make you sure that what I'm saying is a base. Now, so what everyone can open the book of Genesis. What can I learn by myself? Without any rabbi, without any fancy rabbi, or without any Kabbalah, without any diagram and calculations. What can I learn about the history of mankind for eternity, and what does Hashem expect me to do? So everyone can open the book of Genesis and read it, and it's all there, the story of creation. It gives you the headline of creation from the Big Bang at the beginning to the end of time. Chapter 1 tells you they stretch out the entire history of mankind and actually the planet Earth, starting from the very beginning up to the end of time, the end of the 6th day where we still live. So what can I learn from chapter 1? You know that, but let's review it. And everyone can see it on his own. I don't need a Messiah to teach me that. So there is a major plan. And chapter 1 tells me that the world, the universe was initially created. There are 2 stories of creation. Chapter 1 and chapter 2, the story of Eden. 2 stories of creation. Why do I need the 2? We'll see. So chapter 1 tells me that initially the world was created by Elohim alone, by the attribute of judgment alone, to stand the judgment. Why judgment? Because Elohim is a judge and he creates for judgment. No escape. This universe was born to stand in judgment. Other universe may be born in for other purpose, but this universe was created by the attribute of judgment, Elohim, to stand judgment. That's what the Torah tells us. Now, for a long 6 days, 13.8 billion years, Elohim created nature and advanced it from day to day. And he advanced it according to his own criteria of absolute justice, using measure for measure, in precision. You eat and being eaten. You cause pain to other, and other inflict pain on you. And so that's the universe is created. Moreover, Elohim is also provider, kindness. He provides any creature anything he needs to thrive in this universe. And he also created with beauty, which is called the spirit of Elohim, verse 2. So the spirit of Elohim was hovering on the water, is a beauty, sense of beauty. Who said that? The Torah itself said it. So when Moses established the tabernacle, it says there that Bezalel, the artist, was imbued by the spirit of Elohim, the same word. So the spirit of Elohim is beauty and beside wisdom. And that's what the Torah tells us about Elohim. He's a provider, kind, cherished beauty, wisdom, and he gave mankind the ability to sense the same thing. There are gifts from Elohim to his creature Adam. But Elohim doesn't give gift for lunch, for just because he's a giver. He gives something and demands something in return, measure for measure. So he endowed Adam on the 6th day when Adam was about to create. He was endowed him with all kind of talent and desires and passions and ego and wisdom. All that are important for us as a gift to thrive on earth, to rule earth, and to thrive on it. These are gifts from Elohim. But Elohim demands something in return. Elohim knows that Elohim would use this gift that he gave us as a stepboard for our trial. Remember what Elohim has on his mind all the time. He put us on trial, on judgment. So when he builds something, he builds it also for a trial. So if he gave us some talents, those very talents can be trap of failure, seeking beauty, seeking science, idolatry, and all the passions that we have, the ego, the ownership, all that we is important for us to establish society, but there can be a trap of moral failure. So he had on his mind the Torah, which means the 6th commandment. The 6th commandment of Adam, idolatry, adultery, bloodshed, theft, and civil order, justice, and blasphemy. these 6 commandments that what we call Torah here are geared, are based on the passions that mankind may have. The 6 of them cover every desire and drive that men will have. Either sex drive, the drive to wield power, the ego, wisdom, science, everything is covered here under the 6th commandment. So he had in his mind, he will create Adam, and he will give him the 6th commandment as gift, based on the gift that Adam had on his character, but the commandment will turn those gifts into a possible source of sin, of failure. Because if we succumb to our desires, and we commit moral failure, or like let's say transgressing adultery, and submitting myself to sex drive, so we actually fail over an important gift. The sex drive is a gift to us. It's not now to talk about the ramification of the sex drive. It pull mankind to achieve things, and beauty and passions. And it's important for us, but it can also be a source of failure, moral failure. So here is an example how a gift is a source of a sin. And he had on his mind to give us all 6 sins. So this is the message that I can learn by myself from chapter 1, just reading that Elohim created the 6th day according to his criteria. And it was, when it came to Adam, he blessed Adam with all his passions, be fruitful and multiply and rule over. This is in every word here is a gift to Adam to have strong passions, beside wisdom, and to thrive on earth. But at the same time, to stand the moral trial that Elohim set up. Now, Elohim will never give up the trial, because this is Elohim is all about. He creates for judgment. So if somebody come and say the commandments are obsolete or don't apply anymore, that means that Elohim is not here anymore. And that's, of course, a false statement. Now, as we move on, I'm trying to figure out what can I, as a Noahide, learn by myself, and what do I need the Messiah for? Remember, that's the topic. That's where I'm moving towards. I want to figure out, is there something that I need the Messiah to teach me? Right now, I don't. I can have just somebody who will teach me basic Hebrew and a basic Midrash and Sfat Emet, and I can understand it myself and be a perfect Noahide until now without any Messiah. So let's go on to the story. Either something new, and because chapter 1 says that yes, it was something new, because on the 6th day, before he created Adam, Elohim also understood or realized that Adam will not stand the scrutiny of Elohim by himself without help. Why? Because Adam has so much freedom of choice, so strong, a strong freedom of choice, and empowered with so many desires. He will certainly fail the scrutiny of Elohim. And if Adam failed the scrutiny of Elohim, Elohim will destroy Adam, and this will be the end of the universe. Let's go to slide number 2, I believe. Let's see if it's there. I'll try to show you. Let me move on step by step with the story. Okay. Here is the top line showing you the chapter 1 at the beginning. Elohim created the 6th day, and he was very pleased. Every day, at the end of the day, he judged it, he said it was good. All the animals comply with his orders. Nobody rejected them, nobody had a free will, and everything seems good. But then at the bottom there, when he created Adam, he realized that now Adam needs the help. Because Adam needs the contribution of the merciful attribute to offer him a chance to repent, ask forgiveness, and start all over again. So the advent of another attribute beside Elohim in this universe, if she comes over to participate in the heavenly court, her advent in the court will help Adam to move, not to completely fail, but even if he fails, he may ask forgiveness and chance, start all over again. Again, that is still chapter 1. And in the end of chapter 1, you see the YHVH coming from the Sabbath, so to speak, by invitation. She stepped in the YH in the 6th day, the VH in the Sabbath. It's acronym, Hebrew acronym at the end of the chapter 1. And where her advent helped to sustain Adam towards the future. Now the future turned to be the Sabbath. So the next day, after the 6th day, will be the 7th day, the eternal Sabbath day. So that's a new thing that chapter 1 is telling us, that Adam now has to stand the scrutiny of both. Elohim, on one hand, the 6th commandment. Now he had to find faith also in a merciful attribute to do her feature, compassion and mercy and so on, which is not part of the universe, and to combine the two of them into one. If you combine the two of them to one, he can advance. He can be not just good, but very good. If he's very good, he qualified to enter the Sabbath. You know the story. I just summarize it. And my point is, if I just read it from the text, it's there. I don't need the Messiah to tell me that. So an example of the two attributes, And Noah, for instance, was like this. It's the only one, actually, in the Torah that so beautifully described as Noah was a righteous man because he walked in Elohim's sixth commandment. And the sixth commandment there are explicit in the text. And at the same time, he found faith in the merciful Hashem eyes. He was kind enough to the animal, merciful. And that's why he complied with the two attributes. And he is one. And that's why he was saved. Not only why he was saved, he was able to move to the Sabbath. When you comply with the two attributes, you are eligible to move on to the Sabbath, as chapter 1 says, to be very good. So no, it's not a wonder that Noah, who really stood the scrutiny of the two attributes, as depicted in the text, he actually saw the two Sabbaths, the Sabbath of his own time, which is our Sabbath, is only a memorial to the real Sabbath. But in the ark, he experienced something from the eternal Sabbath, because there was no death, so the atmosphere of in the ark is equivalent to the Sabbath. So Noah, his name appears side by side twice, and the Midrash says because he qualified for two rests, the rest of the Sabbath in this universe, as we know it now, and also he experienced the Sabbath as the next day. So here it is. So again, I now realize as a Noahide, this is what I should do. I should hold the two attributes together and follow them as one, and try to attempt to reach the Sabbath not only as a mankind, as a member of mankind, but on a personal level, because each one of us has his own journey, life after life, and so on. So each one of us should make the same journey to the Sabbath, to the next world, and so on. So the story there, chapter 1, is not just for mankind, it's also for individual. So far, so good. I can learn it myself. What came next? What do I learn from the book of Genesis by myself? And let's see if I need a Messiah for that. So after the chapter 1, come chapter 2, the story of Eden. And the story of Eden is telling me like this. I put a slide to remind you. You know the stuff. I'm just summarizing it for you. Yeah, this is the story of Eden. So as opposed to chapter 1, here it says like this. The chapter 2 starts. This is the history of the heaven and the earth on a day when they were recreated. They were recreated. So chapter 1 is not the end. There was another creation. They were recreated on a day that Hashem Elohim made the earth and heaven. Earth and heaven. So what is the story? Very simple. At the end of chapter 1, as she entered the sixth day, she held Elohim wing by wing, and the two of them flew over creation from the Sabbath to the sixth day, to consolidate it, to create Adam. But chapter 2 says no, they didn't park on the sixth day. They went backward from earth to heavens. They backward from the two of them now, from the sixth day to the fifth, and to the fourth, and to the third, and to the 2 and 1. So here finally we have this chart. Hashem, YHVH, appear like before the Sabbath, like in chapter 1. But now she moves back before Elohim, because it says on the day that Hashem Elohim recreated the earth and heaven. So she is now in two positions. The Sabbath, at the end of the days, but also at the beginning. That's a new thing. We didn't know in chapter 1 the story. So as now the two attributes recreating the universe backward, they kind of flew, if you want, over, rewind, if you want, rewinded the creation, or they flew over creation from the sixth to the fifth to the fourth backward, re-establishing it. That's a song of the Levite on the choir on the sixth day. That Hashem established or consolidated what I mean consolidated the universe. Here it is. As the two of them flew back, her presence consolidated the sixth day, because now they have a direction to go. Before she came in, there was no direction. Elohim created the universe alone. There was no Sabbath. Once she is here, the universe was established, consolidated, because now it has a direction to go. She is here at the depth. At the depth of things. Inside, she is here in the depth of everything we see. She is a hidden force, important force. And then as they moved back from the sixth day back to the fifth and fourth, chapter 2 says that they parked on a day, they form Eden on a day that has no rain, not yet any tree, nothing, no animal, no tree on earth. What day was it? The Talmud says the third day, at the time where the dry land was separated from the ocean, before there was any seeding life on earth. The sixth day created Eden. Why? To give Adam a chance not to be born on earth, but to move to the Sabbath from Eden. And here we are coming closer and closer to the topic of what do I need the Messiah for? Because as the two attributes form Eden, in Eden, they made life easier for Adam. Adam could reach the Sabbath now straight from Eden, without ever living on earth. Had he not eaten from the tree of good and evil, he would never know evil. He would never know evil, never met the angel of death, and he could proceed to the Sabbath straight from there. All he need to do is to command of the six to make it easier for him. All he need to do in Eden, the both of them, Adam and his wife, to the first two, idolatry, to listen to Hashem, and adultery, because as she married to him. So all they need is to fulfill those two commandments, And that would be enough to reach the Sabbath. Very easy. What about the rest four? Bloodshed and theft. Oh, that's in case they fall on earth. That was an easy offer, easy way to reach the Sabbath. The merciful attribute, once she joined Elohim, she said, please let us give our child Adam a chance not to face the angel of death that I hate. Angel of death is evil in the eyes of the merciful one. She hates him. So let us give Adam a chance to reach the Sabbath from Eden. Why? That's our mother in heaven worried about us, so to speak. And he agreed, but they failed. They transgressed it, only 2 commandments they had. By this, they exhausted the license to live in Eden. Once you transgress all the commandments that are applicable to you, you are driven out. So they lost the chance to stay in Eden. Yet the merciful came to him. Adam, where are you? Come to me and confess. And he confessed, because that's what she is here for, to offer him a chance to ask forgiveness. Had he confessed, they would have stayed in Eden forever. And they would reach the Sabbath straight from there, sparing them life on earth. Well, they didn't confess, as you know, so they were driven out. Now comes the story of the 6th commandment. Because at that point, Hashem tells Adam, okay, I'm going to drive you out. I give you the 6th commandment. Now you will have to feel on earth the 6th commandment in full, which I prepared for you at the beginning. Now on earth they will be applicable, because you will be driven by all these desires. But I will be with you. Remember the idea of the Sefirot that we learned from the book of Yetzirah? I will be with you. It's not like a human government that sends a citizen to fight in Afghanistan. Hashem kingship is everywhere. So even though we are on earth, driven away from the virtual Eden, he is with us. And Hashem says, I'll give you the book of Genesis, and write down. In the book of Genesis, I will describe to you what the commandments are and how I respond to you when you fulfill them. So the book of Genesis describes the entire journey after the fall of Eden, from Eden, up to Joseph. He goes through Noah, he goes through Abraham, he goes through Jacob, and to Joseph and his brother. Each one of those figures, we know that, his life is completely geared toward one commandment. Along the line. If Noah is against theft, against bloodshed, then Abraham, which is number 3, Abraham is against theft, which is number 4. Then come Jacob with the civil order, justice, number 5, and Joseph and his brother against blasphemy, which is number 6. Which means, I give you, Hashem says, the book of Genesis. It describes everything you need to know about the commandment. Each commandment. This is not Hemingway story. This is a Bible. This is a story of initiated by God that Moses wrote down. And the story of Adam and the story of Abraham and the patriarch are not there just to discuss them as we discuss a Nobel. They are there for teach us. Every story, every word, every line, as we saw many times, it tells you exactly what you need to know about this commandment. So now, again, I don't need the Messiah for that. I can fly on an airplane and I can open up my book of Genesis and I read the book of story of Adam, Abraham, and I ponder about him and I say, Abraham, wow, he was encountering stealing of land. Then his wife was stolen. Then Lot stole water. Then this and that. Then he called Hashem owner. So it gave me all I need to know about number 4. And how to fight against it by Abraham counteracting it, giving charity, endless chesed, grace. So he tells you about the commandment and how to fight it. No other book of Torah will tell you that. And you don't need the Messiah any big rabbi to teach you that. You read it alone. And you know what is justice? Oh, you open a book of the story of Yaakov, and justice in the family against Esau, justice against his father-in-law, his employee, and then against the city mayor who raped his wife, his daughter. You have all the gamut of justice possible in civil order. So the stories are there to tell us about the commandment one by one, according to the order, and how Hashem respond to them. Respond to us when we do this commandment. When we do chesed like Abraham, he will respond to us with chesed. When we do justice the way Jacob did, with holiness and introducing mercy into our law, discuss it in detail, then Hashem will respond accordingly. And so on. So here we have the whole story of Book of Genesis, of the commandment, and came out, so start with Eden being thrown out. And the idea is, if mankind fulfill the commandment, he can purify himself, he can restore his status to the state that he was in Eden. Wow, we can purify our soul just by fulfilling the 6th commandment. And then we restore tikkun, what Adam missed in Eden, especially if we use like Jacob, Joseph and his brother, finally do tshuva. By doing tshuva at the end of the book, they really did tikkun for Adam who didn't do tshuva. So by doing the tshuva, they completed the journey. And now, so to speak, if we follow them, then mankind can restore our status to go back to Eden. Wow. So this is now the story that I can derive by having the book in front of me. And the question is, well, so far so good. I didn't have any Messiah. I didn't need Messiah to teach me that. So how can now? Let's go on. So now that we are at the bottom of the book, we have learned everything we needed to know about the journey of the commandment on earth. And each one of us is facing this. How can each one of us restore his status to the purity of Adam and Eden? And that's the Midrash says, or especially Kabbalah says, well, you climb up from the bottom of the book, from the end of the book to the beginning. You go up in the ladder of the commandment, the ladder of Jacob. This is actually the meaning of the Jacob ladder. You climb up on the commandment. So you start with number 6. Noahide can start with number 6, which means I need to live according to the Torah values in the eyes of other people. Yes, in the eyes of other people. It's not just individual. I need to be sure that I sanctify God's name in the eyes of other people, which means once I am known to be a Noahide, I need to be careful not to violate any commandment, especially not in public, because I desecrate God's name. If I desecrate God's name, I have transgressed number 6. So the incumbent of every Noahide now, once I am known to be a Noahide, well, I need to be careful of my steps. That's number 6. And I climb up to number 5. Social order, justice. As a Noahide, I have a special interest in justice and to eliminate any lie, false news, lies. There are many religions around us that are based on lies. Lies that cost millions of innocent lives. Completely based on misinterpretation of verses and lies. I need to eliminate this. I need to stand against it, to teach the truth and justice. Justice to the people of Israel, justice to the rest of the world, justice to every human group that are suffering from discrimination and so on. I need to stand for justice. For that, I need to learn Torah, dinim. The Talmud can help. So that's number 5. I climb up on number 4. The higher I climb, the more difficult it comes. Because the 6 commandments are based in such a way that the harder one are on top and the easier one are at the bottom. So number 5, I go up to number 4. Number 4 is theft. Theft is not just stealing, embezzlement. Theft is recognized as Hashem as the owner of everything. Theft means I need to bless Hashem for the virtue that He gave me to join the world. The source of blessing comes from here. And of course, I need to make sure the ownership is respected. Private ownership is respected. Theft. I need to do so many things that Abraham did. If I want to know what to do, I learn from Abraham. Indiscriminate charity. Abraham gave charitable without asking anything in return. In principle, is good, but Jacob rejected it. His great son Jacob said, "No, I want charity with din, with limitation. I must ask something in return." So it's not for now to discuss all the aspects. The idea is that I'm going upward all the time to purify myself, to restore my status in Eden. And I do it privately, and I prove it as a nation. and society. And from now, what happened next? If I come to Abraham, I reach now Noah, and actually I reach Eden. Let me show you the slide. Okay, here I climb up from the bottom, from Joseph to Jacob, to Abraham, and to Noah bloodshed, overcome it, and now actually I reach the level of Eden. Because remember, from Eden, after the first thing after they're expelled from Eden, the Cain stood up and killed Abel on earth. Number 3 was violated immediately after losing Eden. And what I just said, all I need to do to restore my purity is to go to Eden. If I go up to Eden, well, what about the top one? Idolatry and adultery. Even in Eden, Adam has to abide by those two. And I give you another secret. The bloodshed, since we are still on earth, although we are supposed to be purified like Eden, but we are a human being on earth. Our bloodshed is still with us, even in Eden, in the level of Eden. So even if we purify all the bottom line, the bottom 4, I still have about 3, whatever there, I'm still left with bloodshed, adultery, and idolatry, the top 3, that are very hard to overcome. Here I need a help. The drive to cause to bloodshed, to go to war, is so big. And the drive to do adultery is even bigger. And the drive to do idolatry and to worship science and to forget about Elohim and to worship my own ego or worship this or worship that, it's even bigger. And a drive to separate the attribute, to live only mercy and to believe only in judgment, to separate the attribute. So all this part of idolatry. The drive to do this, chapter 3, is unbelievable hard. It's above the level of Eden. So now we understand what we need the Messiah for. Says Sfat Emet. The top 3 are left for the Messiah. And the Messiah will address not only mankind, but also the Jewish people. We are also Noahide. We are also inflicted by those, we are blessed by those big ego and sex drive and blood and all the thing that leads to thrive on earth. We are blessed. So we are all Noahide, Jews and non-Jews. So we needed Messiah, says for the top 3. So now we understand. Now we understand why. Tell you what. At the end of the book of Genesis, after they returned the tshuva, and they fulfilled, the brother actually did all the journey up to Eden. They are now the tshuva, they fulfill the whole course. You know what the Torah does? It turns to tell us what will bring the Messiah. Israel is going to be exiled to Egypt. From there, they will be settled in Israel. And Joshua conquered the land. And then the book of Judges and the book of Samuel, they conquer Israel, they conquer Jerusalem, all the steps that are needed to plant the tree of Israel in the Holy Land so that David will come and the Messiah will come. So from the end of the book of Genesis till Malachi, all the books of the prophets deal with that journey to bring a Messiah on earth. And why do I need a Messiah? Now you know. I can be a perfectly Noahide. And I know now, I know the journey, I know where I'm going to. I know that I need to climb up to the level of Eden to correct myself, to repent. But even then, I still need to fulfill the chapter 1, the journey, the master plan, to be very good, to improve myself, to become very good, so we can qualify to the next day, which is the Sabbath. Now, what the Messiah will do is going to be a magician. How can he teach us to do that? Here the answer is, one answer that it did, mankind heart will have to change to be a receiver of the Messiah teaching. And that's if we keep the Sabbath, if we keep the commandment, and we endow the Shekhinah to enter our heart gradually, our heart will change to the point that will be a receiver from the Messiah teaching. So it's not like a wand of a magician. It will change our heart and we can overcome adultery and idolatry and all this hard things. It will just lead us, teach us. But the work still be done by us, by you and me, and by all our descendants. So this is, we now got the picture. And it summarizes actually everything we learn from the book of Yetzirah, from the book of Zohar, everything we learn about the Messiah before, and the commandment. It's all here in this class. And I'm glad that this class is really set up already to understand this. If people who don't understand, people who won't understand a word what I'm saying. But you are prompted already. And I know that your heart is ready to make the change. That if the Messiah will come tomorrow, you will be a perfect receiver. Any question for me today?
Hi, Rabbi Aviner. One quick question, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Forgive me for being a few minutes late, but I had a question. You had mentioned an idea I had never heard. Thank you for the class, by the way. You had mentioned the consolidation and Elohim and YHVH moving back over the days of creation.
Yes. There's the Levite choir in the Holy Temple selected for each day a psalm that based on the story of creation of that day. As it turned out, the song for the Friday, for the sixth day, says, YHVH, the merciful attribute, has reigned. She consolidated the universe. That's how it started. And we repeat the story. We sing in the synagogue every week, every day, at the end of the prayer. The end of the prayer, we add, this is a song that the Levite choir sung on that very day on the temple. When it comes to the sixth day, we sing that story. So I'm asking, you ask yourself, what is that in this world? Why did the Levite choir selected this particular song that says, today, you, Hashem, you have reigned, and today you have consolidated the universe. Why is she consolidated the universe? What's happened? Elohim already created the universe. What it is she is consolidated? But the answer is exactly, without her advent, without her entering into the sixth day from the Sabbath, the universe would have been lost. Because if she is not around and she does not offer Adam the chance to repent and to be forgiven, Adam will be found guilty at the end of the day because he certainly cannot withstand the scrutiny of Arsh Elohim with all our desires and egos and all. Elohim knew that. You cannot stand, we will not stand the harsh scrutiny of absolute justice without mercy. So when he invited her to participate, she entered the sixth day. That is the YHVH, entering the YH, the Yah, what we call Yah. The Yah, the Yud Hey, the YH is in the sixth day. By entering the sixth day, she created like an encore. From now on, the universe can proceed from chapter 1 straight to a new direction, to the Sabbath, which was not there before. Before he invited her, so to speak, to participate, she ran an own universe, the Sabbath, and he was in own universe, ours. That's called Tov Vavohu. So when each attribute rule its own world without talking to each other, without consulting each other, it's Tov Vavohu, it's disorder. Because Elohim alone, he created the sixth day wonderful, and he was very pleased. But when he introduced a new creature like us, that's different. We cannot just comply blindly with him. Certainly we have all this desire to, and so on, to reject him and so on. But when she came in, the universe was consolidated. Now, let's move on to the second stage. So she entered the sixth day, as the chart shows there. YH is in the sixth day, and sixth day, and Elohim at the beginning. But the Torah was telling, what the rabbi was telling us, that, or what the verse actually telling us, that the universe was recreated on that day. What does it mean, recreated? So the whole 6 days were recreated the second time, but by the two attributes together, as opposed to chapter 1 with only Elohim. now with the chapter 2, the YHVH, along with Elohim, two of them recreated the universe. But how? First, she came into the 6th day. Now she continued from the 6th to the 5th, and from the 5th to the 4th, because it says they were recreated from earth to heavens in the opposite direction than chapter 1. So they flew backward. That makes sense. From the Sabbath to the 6th, and then she continued a journey, holding Elohim wing by wing, and the flow of creation, re-establishing it, reconsolidating it the entire 6 days, by her presence also. But her presence is hidden, says Fatemi. The holiness of YHVH is in the nature too, but it's very, very hidden, as opposed to Elohim presence, it is just clear. His wisdom and eating being eaten is everywhere. You can see it. You don't need to be a genius to see that. But you don't see the YHVH, which is hidden. She's here because she consolidated the universe. She's in every day, in every level of creation. She is hidden in the vegetation. She is hidden in the fish. She is hidden everywhere, but deep, deep, deep behind Elohim. There is a ramification for that. Chassidut take this point and to build a new meaning for the commandment. The commandment that you do during the week, not in the Sabbath. Commandment you do in the week, each commandment help to bud her out, to bring her into the real world. Let's leave it alone now. But she is here. That's the point here. Does it answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
Sure. So the merciful Hashem is here, but hidden. And our kingship is hidden. And that's what we pray in Rosh Hashanah. Please Hashem, bring your kingship to the open. Any other question? Well, a lot of things. Appreciate you being with me. Opportunity to share it with you. And I know that you are already prompted to understand what I'm saying, what the Torah is saying. And let's have a good week and see you continue, God willing, next week.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Rabbi.
Rabbi.
Bye.